Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the Gaia Daily for August 13th through 16th, 2021. Well, how are you doing? We're having a shift of energy as Mercury has moved over into the sign of Virgo. And Venus on Monday will move over into the sign of Libra, her home sign. So shifting the energies. Now, for this next week, though, or for this weekend, that means that Mercury, Venus, and Mars all in Virgo. And this is speaking to an opportunity, a striving, a time to find stability in the instability. Because Virgo is the mutable sign of the earth signs, which is about adjusting and change. But earth signs in general like stability. And so it's about a constant adjustment in order to maintain equilibrium. And this is a really good energy for us right now to just understand and remember and keep a total concept that we are in this massive energetic shifting time. That throughout the day you can have strange experiences of time. And this a very different, as we move into the Aquarian age and the higher dimensional energies, it's a completely different relationship to time. Indeed, we're kind of getting rid of time, right? We know it's a construct of 3D. And so it's a very strange time. Now, also for supernova souls, you're incarnating, landing home, this bigger part, this truer part of who you are that's been hiding in the shadows. And this has kind of been extracted out because with the Black Moon Lilith transits, Mars was in square to Black Moon Lilith, now in square to the nodes of the moon. And now Mercury coming into is an exact square to Black Moon Lilith this weekend. And so it's this uncovering, this excavation of the true you. Your truth, which is also your intuitive truth, right? So everything right now is about finding stability in the instability and uncovering and standing and being present in your intuitive truth. So this Mars and square to the nodes is bringing us an impatience with moving forward. We're going to feel that through the weekend and through Monday. So it's kind of the energy of this weekend. It's like, wait a minute, why is it taking, frustration at not being able to move forward, and yet clarity coming perhaps around the corner, because the nodes have an energy of destiny. Now, the North Node is the nodes are going to be in Gemini and Sagittarius through the end of the year. But that's it. We're finishing up this time of the North Node in Gemini, South Node in Sagittarius. I think it might be quite profound in the first week of September when Black Moon Lilith and the North Node of the Moon meet up. It's kind of like there is no future for the hidden and shamed feminine. There is no future for the deep, dark secrets that are keeping all of us in this lower vibration. All must come to light. And it's really interesting because we've been looking at okay, well, things that are, you took vows of silence and secrecy as an advanced soul, and that even had to do with who you are, hiding who you are in order to survive and stay alive and fit in and have community, right? And but anytime anything is hidden, there becomes a shame energy, right? And so what we need to sort out is the hidden treasures of you as a soul, versus this very, very dark stuff that needs to be exposed so it can no longer happen on our planet. And this comes to a very interesting energy for supernova souls around where have you been holding the karma and the pain of the collective and of the negative control forces, blaming yourself for all that they have done when you're not even capable of, like, hurting a flea. And so this is what's coming, getting resolved right now in the psyche of the supernova soul, is that just because you went hidden and dark doesn't mean that there's shame involved in who you are. Yes, that was programmed. Everything for thousands of years going against the true light of the soul, the God light that can come through humanity. It's all about keeping us from this one thing. So maybe we should go ahead and be there. And that's a lot of this energy too, because Venus now for this has been in a sweet trine with Pluto, Venus in Virgo, and Pluto in Capricorn. And then we'll move over into the sign of Libra on Monday. And Venus rules Libra, loves being in Libra. It's about peace, harmony, and equilibrium. And there's a lot of energy about us claiming the world that we want to see in each moment. Claiming that peace, claiming that harmony, claiming that truth, claiming that authenticity, right? And just showing up in the garden moment by moment, day by day, because as time's getting weird and our reality is fluctuating and, and it's kind of like, okay, this is showing us the power of the mind, the power of creation, and the power that we have to choose our reality in each moment of every day. Of course, it's exceedingly difficult right now with all of the drama going on in the world and constant distraction. And so, we're being asked to just sit tight and show up in your truth as the revolutionary act. Because everything is trying to get people to be distracted, not be in the moment, we've been traumatized as a culture again and again throughout history. But this last year and a half was very traumatizing on this subtle level. And we're just starting to see the deeper effects of this in our society. And when people are in trauma, there's trauma programming and trauma experience. There's the fight, the flight, and the immobilization. And it feels like humanity has been in this immobilization energy. Kind of like what's going on, when you don't know what's up from down and what's left and right and what's true and not true, it's just really hard to be present and productive in your everyday life. To pick a plan and move forward, and this has been the ongoing thing. But so part of it has to do with the astrological times, and part of it has to do with this state of trauma. This has been programmed into the DNA of humanity, and I'm kind of seeing like the exact trauma energy we've been carrying through generations in our lineages. That is ready to be replaced by that activation of that God molecule. And we felt that huge energy coming in with that Leo new moon and the Lionsgate portal. And so this is, now we're trying to figure out what that meant for us individually and where we're at, it definitely feels like there's a little bit of a lighter energy, a little bit of more hope and peace available right now. And that's maybe why we need to run with it and claim it. And because it makes sense that if you're aware of things that other people aren't aware of, or awake to spiritual truths, and you've been a seeker, when big changes happen and big disclosures happen, you are in a position to be so valuable in holding this vibration of peace and harmony. And it makes everything make sense, everything you've been through. how far you had to go into the depths of human experience in order to understand and have compassion, in order to climb your way back into that direct connection to source, to go through the dark times of the wilderness that we've been in and come back into, just reach out for the light back into our lives. So this is a time of cleansing and preparation for advanced souls who, supernova souls. And, part of this whole energy of the Saturn square Uranus is this revolution of wealth. And this is an exact example of what we're talking about. Because okay, so there's a lot of people that are like, just don't know what's going on any level, and they're just navigating the lies of the mainstream, reality. And as they, as the masses, we've got to face more truth and reality in order to get around the corner, to get forward in our evolution. And this is an example of the profound wealth within the supernova soul that has been cast aside. It's been demonized. It's been exiled. It's been persecuted. And it's like the most valuable thing we have in this whole realm, because we know we don't take this shit with us. And what we do take with us is our soul experiences and gifts and skills. And then you come to a point in your evolutionary process where you begin to remember, and this is part of this excavation of these gifts and skills inside of you that you maybe didn't even know you had. But they're calling to be heard and to be used and to be, all you want. Actually, the human condition and psychological health of the human condition requires purpose, meaning, activity that creates results in the world. That's our masculine side. The masculine side inside of us needs to act in the world and see results and feel purposeful. And then the feminine side is that intuitive truth and the emotional process and the psychic process. And so there is just this crying out in the supernova soul for this an avenue to express what you have, and you have so much, and it's so valuable. And I know I keep saying this, but just imagine this masses facing, it's such a strange time we're in, because if you really want to know truth, you can go find it. It's incredibly censored, right? But that makes it like you can choose whether you want to know or not. And so it's a very strange time of cognitive dissonance, where it's that blissful ignorance. But when the cold, hard truth crashes down into our reality, you are perfectly poised to support the collective consciousness, because you know more of the real truth. And you might not even know what that means or what that is, but you can feel it in your heart. It's why it's been so hard for you. And what if you went through all of that so that you could be right here, right now, serving your purpose, which is apparently stabilizing in the instability and showing up in the garden. So rest, prepare, heal, love yourself, because there's just no way around the big changes. And little by little, the collective consciousness is going to have to adjust. Now, we're also having floods of very high frequency energies coming into the earth. And that is reflected in this Lionsgate portal, the Schumann resonance. And it's like literally our day-to-day reality is changing. There's been so much control mechanism on our psychic expansion, which is a natural organic process. So if you went and took all that control energy away, like the manipulative lower vibrational energetic fields and that kind of thing, it has to be done gradually, and But it's happening pretty rapidly right now, as far as like, especially for you advanced souls, because you're receiving these DNA codes. You know, you're fully present. You're the front line. You're here to lead the way, you know? So it's a lot of stabilizing and instability. A lot of self-care is required right now, because we're literally shedding and healing on a deep psychic level. So you got to really support your body and your psyche and through this. And maybe that's it. It's almost like we're birthing this new world, and the new world is coming with disclosures of truth. And you're like a midwife pregnant with this energy. And now is time for you to take care of you, so that you can be available for those around you that need you. And so this energy is like stabilizing in the instability and owning, creating, living, breathing the truth of that harmony of why we even bothered coming here, what's true, what's real. And it's really interesting, because we have had this influx of energies, and part of what the supernova soul groups have been working out is this fear programming around like, oh, that higher frequency vibration is destabilizing, and it's not. It brings harmony and peace, you know? And so we got to hold fast and hold true in that as these changes happen. So it's like maybe the stabilizing that's available for the supernova soul really is about stabilizing this bigger part of you that's incarnating into your body. And you don't even know who this person is, you know? It's like you've had a placeholder. And now this bigger truth of you is landing home, and it's like you got to meet yourself. It might feel like there's a disconnect between the physical world as far as like just your mundane actions and all that, because it's like, I mean, imagine a big advanced being, like, but then you got to drive your car, you know? And it's like you got to like do your laundry and, you know, like, and so maybe that's part of this, right? Like, nurture yourself, be gentle with yourself. Massive, big, huge changes are happening within you, representing the big changes in our world that are unavoidable, and nothing can stop. And so you can support those changes by supporting this change in yourself. Right now, that's what is the marching orders, apparently. So we'll see how this goes. Now, next week, a very interesting energy starting next week and for a full week. We're going to be feeling a very interesting and sweet. Now, we've had the whole year of 2021 has been square, tension, T-square, opposition, right? One after the other. And now we're having a little break of that energy. And basically this weekend we have Mercury that is just moved over into Virgo in square to Black Moon Lilith. And Venus did that square, Mars did that square, and now Mercury is doing this square to Black Moon Lilith. This is about Mercury's the mind, so wants to uncover and understand these deep, dark secrets. You know, once they're uncovered, they're just not that dark anymore. It's not that scary. And so that's kind of the energy for this weekend is Mercury square Black Moon Lilith. And for you, this is the excavation of those gifts and skills. And the expression of your true self in the world, coming out of the shadows of darkness. That, hey, those intuitive light worker, conspiracy theorist, healers, they're not evil after all, and we seriously need you right now. You know? And so shift of perspective and examining, being brave enough to examine what's been hidden in the dark, and trying to stabilize in this different energy. So this period of time is actually very sweet for this weekend with Venus still in Virgo and Mercury and Mars. And we'll just, using that, cleaning up, discriminating. I can tell now that's programming. Okay, I can tell that's true in my heart and soul. And this is kind of the process that we're in. Then on Monday, a whole new energy starts. And this is Venus or Mercury coming together with Mars. Mercury catching up to Mars on Virgo. And then they trine Uranus together. So this is a harmonization of this excavation process of our inner wealth and stabilizing our own vibrational frequency, our own gifts, our own incarnating bigger self in the new energies. And so that trine is so sweet. And Mercury and Mars together, it's all business, right? Like Mars is like, okay, come on, let's go. What are we doing? And Mars will be coming off of that square with the nodes at the same time. So we've got Mars square the nodes and Mercury square Black Moon Lilith for the weekend. But then the squares are clearing and we've got this like beautiful trine energy of like the trine. When you have trines, that's within the same sign. So this is an earth trine energy with Mercury and Mars in Virgo and trine to Uranus. And it's a big energy. It's a very sweet, and especially since there isn't the backdrop of intense squares going on, and it's kind of like, come on, let's do this. It's okay. And cleaning up the mind, clarity on what is programming and mind control and what is the true you. It's definitely getting easier and easier with these new energies to hold the intellectual vibrational frequency, keeping clear on your thoughts. The best medicine for this is this continual bringing yourself back to the essential and what really matters in that garden and who you are in your truth. Just show up, keep breathing. And allow this harmonious period of time to sort through the riffraff and come back to that garden within. Maybe that's the true message of the Uranus in Taurus, is this uncovering of wealth. And now we know that wealth is healing, harmony, love, and health is being able to be in control of your own thoughts and emotions and recognizing the programming. And that is what harmonizes. So taking back your mind, taking back your thoughts, taking back your presence in your moment, and you're just like totally being in that place of what's essential, being in the garden, showing up there. This is how we uncover our wealth and have the wealth revolution of supernova souls coming into their full expression. So it's kind of like, hey, you guys, this is the wealth of the world. It's clear. It's not an argument. We don't have to go prove ourselves. Oh my gosh. Supernova souls have spent lifetimes, and I'm sure this is played out for you in this life too, and this is because it's actually what happens in a narcissist relationship. A lot of times you'll be like, find yourself again and again trying to explain yourself or prove yourself. Say, no, I'm coming. That's not where I'm coming from. Like, I need to make sure you understand, and it's like, they're never going to hear you. And when you go find yourself trying to justify yourself, then it's a clear sign. And this is what supernova souls have done for lifetimes, being like, no, I'm here. I come in the light, in the love. They're like, oh no, you're the heretic witch. We need to burn you. So it's like set up this whole thing, and it's really weird because a lot of supernova souls will feel this visceral insecurity that can come. This is part of maybe the reluctant leader thing. Supernova souls are leaders, and yet, and so what happens is that supernova souls are like it looks like, oh, you're so egotistical because you're so sensitive to what these people think about you. And it's like, yeah, because it was life or death. They were coming to kill me. It's not ego, it's survival. And maybe this is all that's getting sorted out, and everywhere where you've been trying to prove that you're a good person. And it's like, you don't need to prove that anymore, because guess what? We're in the revelation. This is the time of presenting the evidence. And just like there's the evidence of the dark control forces being completely exposed, at the same time, the light of who you really are being completely exposed. Time to dig up those scrolls and excavate those inner treasures. And that happens moment to moment, day by day, where you choose your world and you choose your reality. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and just keep showing up in the moment. It's almost like these weird blips, relationships to time, changes in stretching and time is our clue that we're in an elastic reality. And it's a reminder and a clue to be like, oh yeah, time isn't really there. All I have is right here in this presence. That's living. Truly living. And that's where it's like we're going from an exploration of intellectual experience of God consciousness. That's how the whole structured religion of the Piscean age wanted to keep it separate from you, right? And this is an internal moment by moment revelation of that truth within you. So be present in that and use everything to come back to this. My psyche, my thoughts, my emotions, my world, my way. It's our time now. And so, because it comes down to the psychological war. And so, there's a place in the middle between the right and the left and the center. That's Christ consciousness. And the truth, your intuitive truth, and healing, love, light, harmony, right there. And don't miss the moments of this time, because it's happening very rapidly, and it is an expansion of consciousness, and it is your time. You've worked for thousands of years and lifetimes to be right here, right now, and you made it. Don't miss it. Don't get distracted. It's glorious. So hang in there. I look forward to seeing you on the next update. Have a wonderful weekend. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.